Hello everyone and welcome to Max. I am Kladi, an Italian designer based in the UK and also Adobe Senior Design Evangelist and Community Advocate. I'm so excited to have you here with my Adobe Max session, and of course thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you will enjoy it. You can see the title here, which is Innovative Workflow for Future-Proof Designers. So let's jump in. We don't have much time together. I hope to inspire you with this new workflow. We're going to be diving in between Illustrator and Photoshop, a little bit of Project Neo, and some sprinkle of Firefly powered features. So let's get started. This is the final composition. Hopefully I will inspire you to create more of these amazing graphics. This is a brand, and this is an asset for a brand that I created for our Adobe community team that is called Adobe Friends, and is all about next gen. It's all about the explosion of creativity and having fun together. So that's why you see all these energies and all these brand assets that come together alongside some little chaos between 2D and 3D. And let's go ahead and start to create these assets. So whenever we talk about brand, of course, my first step will be Adobe Illustrator. That's where our vector are born and where all the assets. And we can see here some of the assets. We can see the main logo elements, which is the Adobe Friends, the main lettering already outlined, and also colors, which usually comes into these friendly and fun shapes, and some icons. But what I want to really bring your attention here to start with is our swatches color. So this is something that as designer always love to include in our branding guidelines, and it's very important because they show all the information about the swatches and the color that we're using. So for example, in this instance, I have this blue here. So in the past, I would have probably directed into a blog to download a script, or manually you will have to double click on the color, and from the color picker and the color options, you can see all the RGB, the X value, or the CMYK value. But right now we have a new quick method to do that. All we have to do is to simply head to our swatches panel. If you don't have it on your main workspace, you'll find it under the window menu. And then select the swatches that you want to work with. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and select the swatches group. You can select more than one if you want, but the tips and the trick is here within the flyout menu. You have now access to this amazing and powerful create swatches info. In one click, you will be able to have this new pop-up panel that allows you to have all different settings. You can choose the size of the swatches info, and then if you want the X code, maybe if you want HSB as well, RGB, CMYK. Of course, you want CMYK because we're going to print some of this stuff, and then also the space in between each different box. And that's it. When you're ready, just simply click on create, and I'm going to move this away because the group of swatches color is already there. And this is a vector, by the way. Of course, we're in Illustrator, so I can hold the shift and resize it to create this amazing swatch. And if you want to make it look like the one that I've created before, well, real simple. We're going to use one of my best friend, which is our group selection, which is nested under the direct selection tool, and allow us to make a quick selection of items that are part of a group, so I don't have to double, triple click in order to enter in isolation mode. And real quick here, I'm going to swap into properties, give it a stroke maybe of 1 or 2 points, and then I'm just going to give it an outline of black. And then because again, this is a vector, live corners, so I can simply give it a little bit of a rounded corners there, and so on. Also the text is let's go ahead and use our best friend. I was just starting to click, it's just an habit here. Let's go ahead and use the group selection tool. Of course, the text is also editable. So as you can see, our contextual taskbar right away brings up the font. So if you want to do that, you could, I'm just going to use whatever here, just as an example. You can go ahead and style the text so it actually matches your brand. Okay, exciting. So this is one amazing thing, how to create swatches info in Illustrator as vector. And then of course you can save it and integrate in all your document. And most importantly, all the X code, RGB code, and CMYK code, and maybe HSB as well, are there already pulled out for you directly. Okay, so something else about color that I'm really keen to share with you is that now we have this amazing option that allows us also to create gradients. So I'm just going to create a shape real quick so you can see that happen quickly. I'm going to use that Control key on Windows, Command on a Mac to select the colors that I want to include into my gradient. And again, from the same fly out menu, I can quickly select Generate Gradient. And look at that. In one click, I've literally generated the gradient. I had the black selected here for some reason, but that's a live gradient. That means that I can get rid of it. And here it is. I can also rotate it if I want, change the type of gradient, and maybe swap the order of the colors as well. So here it is. That's more what I was looking for. Now, one of the most amazing, different news that I have here to share with you is that not only I can add the gradient field just to my swatches library, just like so, but if I create a library, like in this case, I have a library with some of the elements that I already have here, such as the 2D and some of the 3D icons, and already some of the color theme, we knew already that real quick we could use the swatches panel to bring in colors, but that was not been possible so far for gradients. Well, now check this out. I can go ahead and select a gradient and then quickly add it inside my library. How exciting is that? I think that's super cool. We're going to see how to bring it and put it into use when we do things such as, working in Photoshop. Okay, so now I want to leave you with a few other elements which are quite cool. We know 3D is awesome. How to move from 2D to 3D. I love to use the 3D and material panel. One of my favorite one to make graphic pop is simply to go ahead and select inflate, and don't forget to inflate both sides. So in this case, when we have the full rotation of our graphic, we have the element that is inflate both sides. Look at that. If I inflate it only on one side, the back remains flat. So really depends on what you're working on. But before moving forward, I would love to give a little bit of a metallic look. So I'll go into the base properties, dull down the roughness, make it more soft, and really bump up the metallic. And then, of course, use my ray tracing and maybe just the lighting. I'm just going to make it a little bit brighter. If you see the pixelation, it's just because it's rendering, because I already used ray tracing. And of course, you can keep doing that as many times you want with all your assets. And then you can bring your assets directly inside the library, ready to use throughout Creative Cloud. But I want to share with you something really exciting that you can do with Illustrator and our amazing brand new Project Neo in order to transform your vector into exciting 3D. So in order to access Neo, all you have to do is to head to your browser and then projectneo.adobe.com. You have a gallery where you can explore all the amazing work done for the community. I love to click in this project and then kind of like deconstruct them to learn how they have created it. But let me show you this. This is a way in which you can, you don't need to even know how this thing works, because amazing Project Neo works alongside seamlessly with, Illustrator. So I can just quickly delete these elements that I had inside my project here and then go back into Illustrator. I'm going to go and select some of the elements. Let me go ahead and close the 3D panel and move into one of the text lockup, like text that I've done here with the main branding. I'm going to go ahead and click on Control-C, Command-C on a Mac. All I'm doing is copying this element and then swiftly move inside Project Neo. And are you ready for this? Control-V, Command-V, and the vector graphic will be pasted directly inside our 3D environment. You don't need to know anything much more of that. Of course, there's so much properties that you can go ahead and explore. Unfortunately, we have 15 minutes together, but there are so many video online here on Project Neo, and there is so much more coming on the amazing Project Neo. And you can keep compiling as many elements as you want. Like for example, now I'm going to get and use our A for our Adobe logo. And I'm going to bring it back inside of Project Neo. It will probably stick it inside the shape. Here it is. We have these anchor points, but then you can rotate it. This is a full 3D environment that you can play with. And you can do all sort of things like, you do with Adobe Illustrator, such as scale your graphics and rotate them. Now, the difference when you move them, though, is that you need to bear in mind that you're moving within, 3D. So instead of dragging it, you have this little arrow here that allow you to move it top to bottom and then perhaps rotate it just like that. I think that's the wrong way. I think we need to go all the other way for our Adobe logo to make sure that it looks in the right side. Here it is. I think that's the correct side, just like that. And then I'm probably going to make it a little bit smaller just so we can see the full Adobe logo. And I think I'm done. Here it is. That's my composition with the Adobe logo. And once you're ready, all you have to do is to simply download it. You can You can also open inside Illustrator, share it. You can import SVG if you don't want to copy and paste directly from Illustrator. But the most important thing is that I can go ahead and download it here as a PNG. Also, I can choose a transparent background, so no worries about keying out. I know you've seen that green background. You probably thought I had to key it out. Nope. I can simply download this file directly from Neo into your machine, and then as you can see here, I had quite a lot of fun with these different elements, and I'm going to go ahead and click on save, and you will see that we have now saved this amazing graphic, and here it is. So if I go ahead and I open it, it will open in this case directly inside Photoshop. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on it. So it will open a standalone file with the graphic, which is super cool because also allows me to simply click and drag this graphic within my libraries. So I will be able to use it and repurpose it. Say I can drag it back in and I can work with it. Now bear in mind that this is a rasterized image, so we're not working with scalable vector anymore. And then I can simply go ahead and close it. So let's start and working inside Photoshop. So in Illustrator, we've seen the swatches panel, we've seen the gradient, we've seen how to change element from 2D to 3D, how to add gradient to the libraries, and how to copy and paste graphics, vector graphics directly from a 2D environment, such as Adobe Illustrator inside our project Neo to make these incredible 3D compositions. And now we're here inside Photoshop. We're working on 1080 by 1920. We're working on a Instagram reel asset for our work. And in this case, I don't have a background yet. So I will just use and jump into generate image, which is our Firefly powered feature within Photoshop. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start with a background. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and have a pastel sky with soft clouds. And you can move and use different reference. You can choose between art or photo, different effect, or even composition. But in this case, I'm just going to leave it quite free to Photoshop to understand, first of all, the size of my document, and then to start and give me this background. So I kind of have a landing for my composition. I love to kind of jump away from the white page and just start with something like that. Look at that. I even got some sea here, which is probably not what I necessarily want. I have a full scene. I think is because I just had a complete white background, so I gave it quite a lot of freedom. Of course, you can go ahead and remove it, but just because of time here, I probably just stretch it. So I'll have just the area with the clouds, which is what I need. And then because I have now my libraries with all my assets, I'm able to do things such as bring my gradient. So in one click, I will just bring in my gradient. And by the way, as you can see, this is now a live gradient within Adobe Photoshop, and then I can go ahead and use blend mode to layer my gradient that I've created with my swatches panel in a few clicks within Adobe Illustrator, and then place it directly inside Adobe Photoshop. And some other amazing stuff that I can do is, for example, in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and bring in this asset, which is just a photo of myself that I took in my room. Let's go ahead and you probably can have a little giggle with this image here. But look at that. Let me go ahead and zoom that in because I think it's quite fun. So that's an image that I took inside my room specifically for this project. I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit bigger and just keep it to the center. So I just get the part that I need. And I just want to use this for this composition. So all I do here is to quickly select the object selection tool, move into my select subject, and make sure that I have my cloud option turned on. This will allow me to have much more detailed result. And in one click, I'm going to go ahead and select subject, and Adobe Photoshop will analyze the image, understand where is the subject. Look at that. I cannot even talk through it because it's already done it. So all I'm left to do now is to simply mask it. And you can see that it's done a pretty good job. It kind of left the stool, but this is now a live mask. That means that I can quickly use my brush and just let's go ahead and use our a standard brush and just make sure that we paint in black. So let's go ahead and paint in black to hide the areas that we don't want. And I'm just going to go ahead and make that a smart object so we can quickly preserve the pixel of my original image. And I can go ahead and resize it and place it just at the center. So that's me floating in just a few seconds. But there are some other cool stuff that I want to show you here about Adobe Photoshop. And one of them is the fact that now with object selection tool, you can go ahead and select people. You'll see, you'll find me right away. And then you can find different elements of the design. Look, in this case, I can select directly my shoes. And if I want, I can go ahead and create a specific selection. How cool is that? So perhaps maybe I can just go ahead and duplicate it. So I just have here just a different layer where just my shoe are selected. So what happens here inside the contextual taskbar, once I create a selection, and look at that, I'm gonna just hide myself so you can see that I've just have the shoe, and look at the level of details here. Even picked up the bit of the laces. I have this brand new adjust color button inside my contextual taskbar that will pick up the main colors of my artwork. And in this case, I'm just gonna go ahead and pin it directly to my clipping mask for my shoes, and I can quickly change the hue of the design. Look how beautiful is that. So by literally a few clicks, this adjust color will pick up the prominent colors. And then if I turn back my composition, now I have a different color of shoes, and so on. And of course, this is just the beginning, because all I'm left to do here is to simply start layering all these amazing elements that we have created inside Adobe Illustrator. As you can see here, I can give myself a little sunglasses, make sure that they are in the color layer, which is of course on top of the graphic, and I can just move and swiftly have fun with my creation. By the way, here I have still my object selection tool selected, and just to give you the power of that is still, recognize me with my glasses, pick up the hair, the hands, the clothing, and it's very, very amazing. So all I'm left to do is to really bring these elements together. Unfortunately, it's already time to go. I can't believe it. I'm just going to give you a quick breeze through to my final project. Here it is. I had generated a basketball, removed the background, and then added a little bit of grain with camera raw. I cannot wait to see what you create. It was absolutely amazing to spend this time with you. Don't forget to go and check out all the other amazing session here at Adobe Max. I hope you stay creative and have a lot of fun. I will see you very, very soon. Thank you so much for joining me.